And welcome back to part 2 of What If Deku Had the System from Solo Leveling. Now, two things that got brought up. One, I want to thank the person who actually let me know that when you go into the alternate dimension, with like let's call it the punishment zone, I think it's something like that, where if you don't do the daily Path to Power quest, you go there for 4 hours. That the creatures in there get progressively stronger to match you. So I did not know that. So I do actually have to adjust Deku's level of strength. So, and someone also brought up that all those years, that Deku should be way stronger than what I made him. First off, knowing that little bit about the punishment dimension or punishment dimension zone, whatever it's called, yes, I actually agree. He should be stronger here. But keep in mind, and someone also pointed out that the system will just give you quests to complete. But keep in mind that Deku probably isn't completing every single quest, because it is probably giving you quests that he just can't participate in, like fighting villains or something like that. The system, at least as we're going to look at it from the standpoint of My Hero, like it will function the same way the system does in the context of what it does, but not who's making the rules. Because I believe it's the architect who does that in My Hero, or in Solo Leveling. There's no architect here. I mean, you could make the argument that the architect is maybe like the original user of the quirk or something like that, which isn't a bad idea. Remember that the system was designed to make the user of it a perfect host for the god of death, and that's not quite what we have going on here. I'm not saying that we can't do something with that down the road. I haven't figured that part out yet, but I do. It's not a 1-to-1, obviously, because the system only works in dungeons in the Solo Leveling world. So obviously, this is not a 1-to-1. That said, however, I do agree Deku should be a lot stronger. I still don't know if I'd say he's as strong as All Might. I still don't know if I'd say that, but and I said he was at a third. Let's go to about 3/4 All Might strength. And I mean like All Might as we see him in the series proper, not Prime All Might. So that would be a lot stronger of an All Might. I think that's fair enough. But that's where I'm going to leave it at. That adjustment is where we're going to leave it. Now, that said, however, one other thing someone put out is that they said they felt the series goes by too quick for the My Heroes. And I acknowledge, I actually fully agree with that. The series does go too fast for the My Heroes. The problem here is that if you're talking about doing like the slice of life stuff, which My Hero has a lot of, there's very few of these, and I'm sure we'll get to them. Like Deku changed a certain degree in the Son of Lobo series, but there aren't many scenarios, believe it or not, that I can think of, at least at this moment, that based on the options we've had or the series we've had so far, where Deku's personality would change enough to affect the slice of life sections as they are. And then there's also the issue that Deku is like Deku's the main character. So when he's in a arc, he is important to that arc. But as I believe it's the Shibuya incident, the overhaul arc. The overhaul arc is a perfect example of, yes, Deku is integral to that arc. He beats overhaul, but if you actually look at that, he's only in maybe 20% of that arc, and because it's focusing a lot more on Kirishima, Sun Eater, Mirio, Night Eye, Overhaul, and Eri. And really, Deku's in there maybe 20, a quarter of it. The rest of it, it's other people doing their own things. Some arcs don't even have them, like the villains arc. We breeze through the villains arc all the time. We don't even cover it because there's no point in covering it. Unless, say, like, Shigaraki's just flat out killed off early on, in which case then we'd have to cover it. But, yeah. So, I acknowledge very much that the My Hero series do move faster and are a lot shorter than the Naruto or the Dragon Ball or whatever. But that's simply because, also, it's a much shorter story than Naruto and Bleach and One Piece and all that. I mean, it's 200 plus chapters shorter than Naruto or Bleach on its own, and let's not even talk about One Piece. So right out the gate, you have a more condensed story. So it's going to go by faster. I will try my best to bring out more slice of life scenarios, or at least expand on things that aren't so much action. But I can't promise you that the series is not still going to be short. So with that being said, Deku, one of the things we can at least talk about is Deku being class president. And Deku has a lot more confidence here than in the original. And in fact, one thing I'd like to bring up is his demeanor in combat. As this goes on, his demeanor, I think, would become a lot more hardened, arguably a bit more colder than what we see here. Because was it Jin Woo? That's the main character's name. He just got battle hardened after a while. Deku would get to have the same thing here. Like, he's not going to flinch in the face of most threats now because he has to deal with the centipede monsters constantly. But dealing with something like, say, him being class president, Deku still probably doesn't want to be class president. Maybe that's it. I could actually see a very funny scenario happening here where System gives him a request to be the El Presidente, be the class president. And they try to do that. He's just like, I'm not cut out for this. What the hell are we doing? And so eventually when we know Shigaraki had temporarily attacked UA, brought down the barrier. We know Ito was the one who basically took charge and directed people where they needed to go. And so I could see Deku just sitting there and System basically just wondering why did trying to alter the quest in a way where he can pass it. Be Presidente. You're a Presidente in life, Deku. It's like, no, what? Okay, fine. Failed mission. And ultimately, Deku would still pass it off to Ida. But no, we would be obviously looking at the attack on the USJ. And they're going for their, again, it's like, rescue training? I think it was like that. And obviously, they get there. Oh, man, what was the black hole hero's name? I can't remember his name. And I believe it is a he. But eventually, they do have the League of Villains attacking, and Kurogiri gets involved. Now, Deku probably isn't aware doesn't know what's going on. All he knows is a villain is showing up. And obviously, he's got the quest to defeat the villains. And so, he initially is getting ready. And strength wise, like I say, he's like 3/4 All Might right now. All Might hasn't spoken to him yet about All for One, though. Or One for All, sorry. But he is looking at Deku to be the successor. Because he's seeing this kid's like, this kid may have what it takes. But meanwhile, Deku would still get sucked up at Kurogiri. He'd have no real way to avoid that unless he tries to just speed blitz out of there, which in theory is possible. He's just as fast as he is strong and durable. And he has a bunch of stuff he got from his mission quest that we'll get into actually in a little bit in this video. But he gets sent to the boat, but he's caught by Sue. And they land on the boat. It's like, they're not attacking us. They don't know what our quirks are. All right. They wouldn't have sent you to the flooded zone. All right. We got to get out of here no matter what. But come on. We can't get out of here, Midoriya. This is stupid. What can you do? We got to try. What can you do? It's like, I got the abilities of a frog, leaf fast. Oh, I can also turn my stomach inside out and throw it up, but that's not really relevant here. I got these sticky balls and stuff like that. We're so screwed. But Nori's like, wait, Midoriya, what can you do? Yeah, it's a little complicated, but more or less, I basically have a personal, my body kind of, Deku's probably never actually had to explain how his quirk works. So, it's actually a very good question. How would you explain, in a My Hero way, how the system works? My best guess is to explain this. My body operates like an RPG game. I literally have a heads-up display with my stats, abilities, inventory. I literally have a pocket dimension. For infinite storage for these things. I can just continually increase my strength, speed, stamina. I've been doing it for years now. It's like, whoa. So wait, are you saying you can take them on? I mean, I might be able to, but I can't walk on water or anything. Either way, but still, we gotta try. And then so Midoriya just, and he's almost certainly practiced, so he knows he can throw a hell of a punch. Just so he just does the whole, shot. The water comes up, they just throw him in, throw all the sticky balls out there. Eat my sticky balls! Sue grabs Midoriya and Mineta and heads out of there. It's like, you and Midoriya, you really are kind of cool. Now they get there, they get to the shore, and that's where obviously Nomu and Shigaraki and Eraserhead are. Shigaraki comes in. It's like, what? And he sees Shigaraki grabs. He's like, what? No! It's like, and obviously, no, man, Eraserhead, you're so cool. And so Nomu just crushes him. That's when Deku comes in. No, Nomu just boom. Oh, that was scary, kid. Smash! It's a scary kid. You almost had me there, but Nomu's gonna be. It's a lot more. It's not gonna be as easy to take down. And Midoriya isn't. I mean, he's a little freaked out that this thing didn't even budge. But it's like, it's like, fine. It's like, I'm not letting you touch my friends or hurt my teacher. Midoriya, stop! And it's like, Nomu, kill the kid. And then Midoriya just casually dodges because he does have a speed advantage on it. Nomu, as fast as it is fast, is not a speedster. Deku is arguably a speedster at this point. He's just boom, 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 starts literally just boom, boom, and then new mission. Take how would I put Jack and the Beanstalk, make the giant fall, and Deku's like, he's got some sort of a shock absorption quirk, and just it's like, sorry. It's like, you're a strong kid, but sorry, I can't. You're really no Deku, no! And he just starts. He's about to grab Midoriya's face. Midoriya just grabs his hand. Grabs his hand. What the? It's like, you. And he actually does manage to grab Midoriya as a reaction, and Midoriya's arm starts to rot off. Midoriya at this point has not encountered decay yet, so he does not have an effective counter for this quirk. But he's like, Deku! And so Midoriya, Deku! And she was like, rabbit! And finally Midoriya just like, opens the portal and pulls out the sword with his teeth. What the hell? What the hell? Even the gnome was like, huh? Midoriya finally flexes, then activates his job ability would be with this quirk, his hero aura, which basically is kind of like transfers like a golden greenish aura because Deku's hair green kind of works for the color. Just boom, smacks Nomu around a little bit, gets him like, I won't let you hurt my friends. And then he just throws the sword up, boop, pulls out a potion, full restoration for his his arms. Go. And it's like, what? What are you, some sort of walking video game? Oh, that's so cool. Like, I can see Shigaraki, someone basically, it should have been me. Shigaraki would go. But no, he's like, that's really awesome. I can't believe I have to kill you. That's so cool. And he grew his arm back. And then he was like, I didn't actually think that would work. Holy crap. Then it's like the giant still gets up. Obviously, Nomus still gets up. Deku just pulls out more swords. He's literally holding swords like knives, more or less, between his fingers. It's like, let's go! And he rushes in, just and starts literally putting him into Nomu, like aiming for spots that are like joints and stuff like that. Because even with enhanced regeneration, it would be a little bit. It would take effort to force that out, especially if he's hitting like a joint. And so Deku's doing is he realizes he cuts Nomu, and he actually is able to cut his hand off. But he realizes it's quick because he's got his aura flaring as well. It's a regeneration. I've got to do something different. All right, just start. Just start literally. Actually, I think it's like what Killer Bee tried to do to Sasuke. If I remember correctly, did he try to do that, or does that? No, I'm thinking something. Basically, he is just literally just putting it in all the weak points he can in Nomu. Just and Nomu, take care of this. Nomu, what's wrong with you? Because Shigaraki says, what's wrong with you? Kage is I'm not certain. It's like, Nomu, just regenerate. And it's like, he's trying, and he can, but it's like, he can't force these things out because they're not in muscle. They're literally stuck in like his bone joints. And Deku just, stamina. All right, let's go. It's like, what? what did you do? No, when I cut his hand off, I could tell he's got enhanced regeneration or high speed regeneration. There was no way I was going to be bringing him down with my own power. There's no way I'm going to be like taking him down that way. So I decided to go a different way. I aimed for every one of his major joints, arms, legs, shoulders. He's not dead, but he's not going to be, and he might even heal, but he's not going to be able to force those things out. Because that, again, not quite how your joints work. You can't just force something out. Like, you can actually, if you flex hard enough, you can force things out of your muscles. You can't do that with a joint. Like, if you were saying literally have something stuck in, I don't know, your shoulder, for example, there's joint right there, trying to flex your joint, that's not going to work. It's just going to get stiff. So literally, he's kind of locked Nomu up, even though basically it's healing over the blade, so he's kind of just stuck. It's like, you're got a pretty good head on your shoulders. Let's see what happens when that thing rots off. And Deku's just ready to go, but he's actually unlocked a new title. And not anti-decay. What would be basically a title that negates or at least weakens decay. Like Deku still theoretically could be decayed, but he is a lot more highly resistant as long as his aura basically, you know what, his aura negates the decay now. And Deku is ready to go until all his never fear, for I am here. And oh my you. And so and you know, he's squaring off. And unlike before where he barely could beat Nomu, here he doesn't have to fight Nomu. So he's there to scare the living hell out of them. It's like, we need to get going now. No! And obviously Bakugo and Shoto show up. And basically, you're not going anywhere. Unfortunately, there are still other villains around, so they're kind of start to gang up on them a little bit. Bakugo gets distracted. We're getting out of here now, Shigaraki. No! This isn't going so soon. This isn't over, All Might. And you too, kid. Because he doesn't know Deku's name. And so it's like, damn it, they got away. Now, I'm making there's a good, honestly, there's a strong logic for them not getting away here, especially if Bakugo is able to catch Kurogiri. But for the sake of argument, let's just say they can get away. It's like, I see. So wait, no, Midoriya, you fought this individual? I was like, yeah, I did. He was they were about to, the guy had a quirk that decayed stuff, and his aura dies down. Just burned stuff away. Wait, I had to protect Sue. I had to protect them all. I had to protect Eraser. I had to protect Sue. And by the way, Sue got to see that, so Sue's probably blushing a little bit. It's like, Rabbit. No, it's okay, Midoriya. Thanks. It's like, no, it's okay. I'm not saying I'm going to pair him with Sue. I will say, while I don't hate the Ochako Deku pairing, I do like Sue better in that pairing, to be frank. But whatever. Anywho. So it's like, I see, you fought off this individual all on your own. When did these blades come out? Oh, it's part of my quirk. And I said, I never really explained my quirk, did you? Meanwhile, Bakugo's like, and looking, I was like, you Deku summoned what? What? What's that aura? I was like, damn it, Deku! What the hell is this? I was like, I told you I had a quirk all those years ago. You didn't believe me. I told you like last time too, but every time I try to tell you, he's like, shut up! It's like, you do that! And he just ducks, you do that! And it's like, all right, that's enough. Calm down. Calm down, Bakugo. There's no reason to be attacking your friend. He's not my friend. He's just a loser. Losers like, fine. There's no reason to attack your classmate. Now cut it out or you're getting detention. It's like, Deku! And so, yeah, this boy, his strength to be able to fight a being like that. Even I can tell. I'm not sure I'd be able to go toe-to-toe with him without getting he doesn't even scratch on him. And, you know, he comments as they kind of, Midoriya, I'd like to have a conversation with you, if you don't mind. No, you're not in trouble. It's like, I know, I'm not supposed to. No, you do what you had to. I'm proud of you. But first, there's something I need to do. You'll excuse me if I slip into something a bit more comfortable. No, but they're about to see something. Do not be shocked by what you see. It's like, what happened to my? I can assure you, I am All Might. What happened? This is the secret I've been harboring for a while, Deku. And he shows the words. Like, whoa, that's a nasty injury. Yeah, I got this in a big battle years back. And Yeah, it's like, what was it? What was it? The atomic chainsaw or something like that? Oh, you know your stuff. No, he got a couple good hits in, but no, no one heard about this fight. Since then, I can only do my hero work for about an hour and a half a day, and I can only look like All Might for so long too. The rest of the time, I look like this. But Deku, I want to know something. With that power of yours, where that quirk of yours, did you always have it? It's like, well, not exactly. I got it through a blood, apparently, maybe. Though I honestly didn't. But the doctor said I wasn't going to have a quirk, and then there was an accident. I was fine, but I got a blood transfusion. A quirk passing on to someone else, mate. Spontaneous transmission. What? It's something is. It's been no. We don't. By the way, we don't know this could happen, but in theory, biology works in many ways. It's possible could have happened. It's only happened on a few rare occurrences, at least that I know of. So if someone's DNA is compatible with a donor's, that quirk can in fact be transferred over to the user. However, usually the donor has to be deceased or usually ends up without their quirk. I don't know where it came from. But I think this is a powerful quirk. To think you were able to fight that Nomu in that guy with the hands without any damage whatsoever. Oh, that's not true. The guy actually he actually rotted. One of them, the Nomu, actually nearly broke my left hand, and then a guy with the decay quirk, that rot quirk, because we don't know it's called decay. That quirk that was making rot nearly rotted my right arm. Blood. It's like no, and he explains this quirk again. It works like an RPG game. That he has like this, and he literally just opens it up. And he's just like, what? He's like, look, and that's where the swords came from. I just been collecting things this whole time. Now, was something that I and hell, my defense. Honestly, I actually almost is always wearing a constant suit of armor. Wait, what? And he just reveals the invisibility, like the armor on him. At least when I'm in hero mode, I am. Yeah, but I'm able to make it invisible. I also collected. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see. I don't know if I made the argument because he could pick basically up loot. I made the argument whether or not we should do it if he actually defeats an opponent or kills an opponent. I don't know if we can say it's for defeating an opponent. I think if we're going to keep it true enough to the original system, that's got to be killing an opponent. Which is why the 0-pointer he was able to put down. And which is why he was able to get so much stuff from the 0-pointer, because it's a giant mechanical monster, but he destroyed it, killed it. So there you go. It's like amazing. That's incredible. My God, you could be almost as strong as me at this point. It's like, no, come on, I'm not that strong. Maybe one day. It's like, no, Midori, you don't understand. I looked at that guy myself. I would have had difficulty putting him down. The fact that you could put him down as easily as you did means you're closing in on my level, or at least the level I am now. Really? Yeah, if I had to guess, I'm at least 50 or 60 times weaker than what I used to be. That's how badly you were injured. Yeah, I lost my entire stomach and my stomach and a lot of blood in my entire stomach, as well as other injuries he got. So it weakened me considerably. Think about that too. Like All Might is 50 to 60 times weaker than what we saw in the actual show. That is kind of nuts. Because he states it would have taken 5 or 6 blows to take down Nomu back in his prime. It took 300. So you do the math. He's 50 to 60 times weaker than he used to be. So that's kind of nuts. But Deku, but you risked your life with no hesitation. I'm been looking for someone to carry on my legacy. What are you saying? And he explains, all for one. Well, he explains that too. It's like all for one, yes, but from his evil, there birthed a miracle in the world, a one for all. And he explains, this is my power, and so I want to be able to pass this power on to the next generation. I'm thinking you might be the one, Midoriya. I'm not 100% sure yet. Plus, we're gonna have to get you in shape for it, which then All Might realize. Then again, based on what you're saying, I'll have to do I'm going to do a personal test with you later on to see if you're actually strong enough. Short, by the by, yes, Midoriya is strong enough to have one for all here. He just is. Just because of the nature of the system. Honestly, but because of the way the system works too, Deku will probably surpass this version of All Might even without one for all. probably by the end of the sports festival, if I'm being honest. And then he just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. So, with that said, God, because all for one, one for all does strengthen your quirk too. So, what does system look like when he gets all for one? I keep doing that. One for all. God, they're great. I really enjoy My Hero Academia, and those are well named quirks. But goddamn, it doesn't make it hard to, when you're just going along and suddenly say one of them, get the right one off the top of your head, because it's all for all. It's all for one. Sorry, it's one for all for one. It's a palindrome, really. If you put them together, it's one for all for one. Yeah, it literally is a palindrome. You just take out one instance of the word one. Anyway, he's saying, I want to wait just a little bit on before we go about this. I want to be sure you're ready for that. Luckily, you're going to have another chance to show off, show what you can do, kid. The sports festival's coming up. Really? Okay. I promise I'm not going to let you down. I know you won't. And meanwhile, Bakugo's still just seething over Midoriya. That idiot. And obviously, Shinso and Class 1B come in, and they're just causing shit. And so, a few weeks pass, the sports festival happens. Now, again, the sports festival, Midoriya, honestly, because he knows he's got armor, he's got the ability to, he's got armor piercing. He's about to take down the new Zero Porters, but then Shota just one-shots. Like, okay, well then, yeah, I'm just going to just, and like I said, he's more or less a speedster here. So he just gets to the finish line pretty quick. And Baku's like, Midoriya, Deku, come back here! It's like, sorry. And Midoriya's the winner. Like, there's nothing else to say on that. Always, cavalry battle. I always blank on the name of that one. I still think Midoriya has the same team he's at, but because he can create things like, he has many things stored up, it's not going to be as easy to get to him here. Particularly because he actually, he literally armors himself up with invisible armor. So when Ida tries to take it, or when was it Ida and Shoto? Either way, when they try to take it, they realize that there's something covering his headband. What? And then they scrapes, revealing a little bit of the metal. It's like, what? Sorry, I can't prepare for that. And it's like, what? Yeah, no, like I told you, it works kind of like a game. I have many things, including armor. I'm actually armored up, right? I'm usually armored up anyway. It's just, yeah, it remains invisible. Next, and he kind of shows up. It's like, actually kind of acts more like a hologram than anything else. And so, Midoriya, is actually stale remains in that position. For the sake of argument, everyone else who passes. And then you get to the matches, which is where we're going to end it. We're going to just go through the matches. Him versus Shinso still happens. And Midoriya is about to, just put this guy down until he accidentally makes a mistake of responding to him. And just now walk out of the ring. And he starts to walk, and the quest system comes up. Defeat the Mind Mage. And Deku's like, I gotta move, gotta figure out something. And just thinks, my inventory. It's like, but he stops and thinks, maybe he said walk out of the ring. I'm still walking in, so he moves. So he's basically, you can do things outside of the task given, so long as you're still doing the task given. It's kind of if you can loophole it, so Midoriya just activates his inventory and just slides a sword out to just nick him. And he just, he pushes the sword back in. It's like, what did he? You can see the big deep cut. He cut himself to break out of that son of a. Not bad, Midoriya, but you're still just another. You're still not going to be as good as me, or he's like, I can't remember how it was. I think you all have it so easy. And Midoriya's just like, nope, I'm not dealing with this. That just disappears. Like he's got the wind out of it, so Midoriya, because I can't. It looks like I can talk so long as the wind's knocked out of you. Sorry, but you're not the. And he just kind of looks at you and says, sorry, but you're not the only one who's had to work hard for what it is and has been judged. And just kind of pushes him out. And so the winner is Suzuka Midoriya. And, he gained more experience. And now he gains resistance to mind control. Mind over matter. Or matter over mind. Actually, mind over mind. Let's call it mind over mind as the title. Gaining the ability to now resist mind control. Obviously now, though, it would be the Shoto versus Midoriya fight. Now, from a physical standpoint, Shoto can't compete with Midoriya. No one, save for All Might right now, can compete with Midoriya. But he does have abilities like his ice, and Midoriya's just trying to get through them, but he can't because the ice is so large. And so he's just, he's got his sword, he's got his aura. I think he can pretty much do like a Getsuka Tensho kind of effect. Just I just hit my finger, but okay. Just like a swiping. He's just breaking through, but he also gets his ice, he gets his arms iced down, just, and, a giant chasm comes in, Midoriya just cracks in the ice. He's probably getting, like, cold and heat resistance abilities out of this fight when it's over. Midoriya, though, is pissed off that Shoto isn't going all out. Now, did Endeavor approach him? Yes, because Midoriya is so physically strong, he does mirror All Might. So, I think he did approach him still. And still, it's like, why aren't you using your right arm? It is his right arm that's the fire. No, it's his left arm's the fire, I believe. Crap, which one is his fire? I think it's his right arm is the ice because it's the white side. The red side's the fire, if I remember correctly. No, if I remember correctly, yeah. And if I'm wrong, oh well. But anyway, the side. It's like, why aren't you using it? It's like, I don't need it to beat you. It's like, and Midoriya's like, yeah. And Midoriya is now pissed off. It's like, yeah, you are. And, he just pulls out some of his swords and just starts slicing through the ice. He's using his energy to literally make like an energy buzzsaw, kind of like Danzo did with his shurikens in his fight with Sasuke. I was literally just watching a video detailing Danzo's jutsu. By the by, why didn't they give Naruto some of that shit? Seriously, Danzo was actually, as much as we don't like him as a person, his character's fighting abilities were really cool. But either way, he's kind of like, I'll prove my own. This is stupid. That's stupid. Everyone else here is giving it their all. And you think you're just going to half-ass it? Is that it? Is that how the kind of hero you want to be? The kind of hero who doesn't give it 100%? I don't need my father's quirk. I'll just say, it's your quirk, not his, yours. And that's what he remembers too. Obviously, that's right. When did I forget? I wanted to. And Midoriya just, and the swords like go back in his inventory. You asked for this, Midoriya. Don't say I didn't warn you. And just basically he's like, all right, full power now. Do I have anything else under my belt? And right now he's just got Hero Aura, but I'm definitely going to include other things in there as well. And so you're not the only one who wants to win, Shoto. And then he's kind of like charges up his aura. And you get the music going. Boom! They just clash. And it's a beam struggle, more or less. However, Midoriya, just being a lot stronger than Shoto, is the one who actually overwhelmed Shoto. Just boom! And obviously heat resistance, cold resistance, on and on. And the winner is Suzuka Midoriya. So then he would make quick work of Ida because speed-wise he can't compete with Deku. He just can't. And then him and Baka, this is it. I've been waiting for this whole time, Midoriya. You're going down. And so, look, we can do this. You can give up now. How would we paraphrase the Jack Sparrow lines? Like, I'm gonna beat you. Do you know what I'm gonna beat you to a pulp? Show everyone the loser you are. You don't even deserve to be here, Midoriya. Or you could surrender. It's like, and Midoriya just. Unfortunately, he isn't 100% effective because Bako can spam giant explosions. So Midoriya does get caught up a couple times. It's like, what's the matter? You're not going to bring out your swords? What was all that talk? He just clutches it and catches Midoriya's fist. Just I was like, what was all that talk you were giving half and half about going all out when you're the one holding back? And just he's about to deliver another punch when Midoriya just gets him right in the gut. Just, Bakugo though is really stubborn. Just stops. That's where I like it. And then Midoriya's like, no, this is enough, Bakugo. Come on. And Midoriya finally just like, fine. And just kids him, basically just has to tap him lightly because a light enough tap will still knock his ass out. But again, you ever want to know why people like just drop their feet? Just give yourself a light tap to the back of the throat, neck. You'll feel the tingles in your legs. So Bakugo just drops, and he's about to pass out. I was like, no, and I'm not gonna. Just one more tap to the. Sorry, Bakugo. The winner is Midoriya. And so, Bakugo is still probably passed out from that shot because you can knock someone out from doing that. Just a good shot to the gut, that especially the solar plexus, that will knock someone out. But so it's like, oh, congratulations to you, to all of you, Shoto, Bakugo. No, not Shoto, Bakugo. Who was the third place winner? Ida? I actually can't remember who the third place winner was. Kirishima? What was the second to last match? You know what? It was Kirishima because that's who Bakugo was fighting, if I remember correctly. He just wore down Kirishima's hardening ability. Anyway, I'll have to check for that in future. But Deku's like, thank you, Alma, and you proved yourself you really have proved yourself a worthy successor, Midoriya. Great things ought to come. And then Bakugo's like, kind of over here. It's like, get that away from me. It's like, oh, nope, here. And so that's the end of part 2. We went a little long on this one, but I think it was worth it just to kind of expand a little bit. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll join us again next time for training, Hero Killer Stain, the graduation match, and possibly also the training in the forest. But until then, thanks for watching. See you next time, folks. Later.